Hello, I am Mary Mason, President of the Friends of Old Dover. The Dover Days Committee, along with the Friends of Old Dover, also known as the Historical Society of Dover, are pleased to offer you a virtual celebration of our city's heritage. Dover Days began in 1933 by Mabel Lloyd Ridgely as a day with the storied houses and gardens of Old Dover. Through the years, the Dover Days has grown into a lively festival with parades, maypole dancing, historic reenactions, community speakers, and food and craft vendors organized by the Dover Days Committee. Due to the ongoing restrictions of the COVID pandemic, we will celebrate again this year with a series of online lectures on topics such as pre-colonial history, Victorian architecture, religion, ethnic groups, education, horticulture, and social history of Dover. We are proud of our traditions, and our focus is on preserving Dover's historic and architectural heritage for future generations. We hope you enjoy our online program. The Dover Days Committee and the Friends of Old Dover look forward to spending Dover Days with you in person the way it used to be next year. A special thank you goes to the students of the ARVED, Audio, Radio, Video Engineering Design of Caesar Rodney High School for their assistance with this program.
So on behalf of the men and women of the Robbins Hose Company #1, we'd like to welcome you to this virtual tour of the Dover Fire Department. Robbins Hose Company #1 was founded on November 13th, 1882, and serves as the Dover Fire Department. The Dover Fire Department is the only all-volunteer fire department that protects a state capital in the United States. For 139 years, members of the Dover Fire Department, the men and women of the Dover Fire Department, have responded to the bell, to the sirens, to the steam whistles, to the pagers going off, summoning help from their fellow Doverites and bringing fire and rescue service to them. If I can point you to this wall here, these are most of the men who have served as chiefs of the Dover Fire Department. And now if we can, we'll walk into our museum. Robbins Hose Company was named after James Washington Robbins, who never belonged to Robbins Hose Company, but the fire department was named after him because he encouraged the beginning of a bucket brigade and a ladder company here in the city. He passed away. He was one of the principals, owners of Richardson Robbins Company, and after he passed away, the members who founded Robbins Hose Company named the fire department in his honor. We have here one of the first pieces of fire equipment owned by the Dover Fire Department. It is a hand pumper. That water was filled in the tub here and was pumped by hand through leather hose, and that was the rudimentary fire protection that they had here when Robbins Hose Company was founded in 1882. Now if you step in over this way, this is our museum here at Robbins Hose, and it's open all year long. All you have to do is call ahead or see the dispatcher for a tour. We have over here all the trophies that we've won, some examples of early uniforms that the firefighters wore, the original helmets that were made out of leather, and trophies that we won going to parades. Firefighters don't participate a whole lot in parades anymore, and that's kind of one of the fun things that's gone. So over here in this corner here, there's a picture of two of the original founders of the B.F. Simmons and Eldad Clark. B.F. Simmons was the first fire chief. Eldad Clark was the first president of Robbins Hose Company. And then we have some small replicas of fire trucks that Robbins Hose Company has used to protect our community. I'm really excited to point out this truck here. This is Engine 8. It's a 1954 Mack 1,000-gallon-a-minute pumper, and it was one of the first engines that I, as a member of the department, learned how to drive and operate. We currently use it for parades when we have one, and for funerals for our older members. Here's some more equipment here that we've used over the years as a fire department. This is an example of the turnout gear that the modern firefighters wear here in the Dover Fire Department. This is a pole that was taken out of a firehouse in the city of Wilmington. It was presented to the Dover Fire Department. We no longer use it, so it's here here in the museum as one of the vintage items that we own. This is a replica of how the firehouse used to look. Have a little wood stove, chairs, spittoons for the firemen to sit around and pass their leisure time away. So behind you have the original gold leaf work that was over the door of the first firehouse that we had. And the board there was used, the chalkboard there was used from 1882 to 1982 to record where the fire calls were. So when the dispatcher took the alarm, he wrote down where the alarm was, because in the beginning of the fire department we had a paid driver, and so he wrote the alarm down, and then usually he would drive the first truck to the fire. So over here we have our first ladder truck, a 65-foot 1937 Seagrave. It was the first aerial ladder truck south of Wilmington, and we trained on it. The members at that time trained on how to use the aerial ladder truck with the City of Wilmington Fire Department. There you can see some more turnout gear that's hanging on there as examples of what the turnout gear was as history progressed. So along this wall we have various different pieces of uniforms that older members gave to the department. Different things that we've had throughout the history of the department. At one time, every piece of apparatus that was owned by the Dover Fire Department was manufactured by Mack Trucks, and its symbol was the little bulldog. One of the ladies whose husbands belonged to the fire department felt sorry for the little bulldogs in the winter and knitted them those coats. And as you can see, we have more examples of the helmets that we wore over the years, the helmets that denoted the officers in the department, all the badges that we've used throughout the course of the 139 years of history of the fire department. I mentioned that we had bells, sirens. This is an example of the steam whistle that was located on the power plant at the corner of Kings Highway and Division Street. And when there was a fire in Dover, back when that power plant existed, it would be sounded to, in addition to the sirens and the bells, to let the volunteers know that there was a fire and they needed to respond to the firehouse. Then we got really fancy. We started using electric radios called plectrons. That's one of the oldest units that we had, and as you can see, they've progressed from those wooden boxes and wooden radios that monitored one channel all the way up to the modern day pagers that we have, that we use, which clip onto our belts. Fire department has always been a big purveyor of fire prevention, and so Sparky, we had a uniform for Sparky the fire dog who represented the NFPA, and that was his helmet, and we would take him to parades and things with us. Much easier matters, Rachel. On this wall here we have once again the Mac Bulldog, who was the mascot for the fire department, and there are pictures of other apparatus that we've had over the last 100 years or so of motorized equipment for the Dover Fire Department. And there's a collection of boots that we used to wear. We wore rubber boots, roll-up boots, bunker boots. Now we all wear leather boots. So as you can see by the antique fire equipment in here, Robbins Hose Company has always been well prepared to answer the call for any type of emergency. And we're going to take a quick walk out to the engine room so that you can see some of the modern equipment that we have. And that'll conclude our tour. But always remember, Robbins Hose Company has always been an integral part of the fabric of the city of Dover, not only for fire and emergencies, but they've also been involved in politics. 2 mayors have been members of Robbins Hose Company, 1 governor, 1 United States senator, and at one time, 7 out of the 8 members of council were members of Robbins Hose.